I'm really sick and tired of this labeling. Now I understand that it is a legitimate thing, and I need to keep it clean because I'm out in a public park. Um, it's absolutely ridiculous how a lot of people, and when I mean especially disabled people, are being seen. And I have a huge feeling that this is all kind of set up. You can call me a conspiracy hypothesis or whatever, but in all seriousness, it's living with disabilities, especially invisible disabilities like me, is hell. And not many and it's not just hell for a lot of people because they don't understand what we go through, but it's even hell. It's hell for people like me because it's it's kind of a give and take sort of thing. It's basically a cause and effect. I mean, and because people like me are very complicated, and people who are not used to such complications are discriminate against people like me. And trust me, and the thing is that we don't mean to be like this. You do have some people who suffer through disabilities tend to be a little bit more, I guess, tend to be a little bit more violent and excuse themselves. But that doesn't, and again, that doesn't make them bad people or anything. Because the thing is that people like me are just mocked, ridiculed, and abused, and so many people get away with this. And it's like, when in the world am I going to have my break? And this causes post-traumatic stress disorder for a lot of people. I mean, there was the thing is that my previous two besties, they never I'm not friends with them anymore because not because of exclusively their disabilities, but because they became very violent towards me, and they justified it because they felt bad. And the thing is that in so many ways, that even though it doesn't make it right, I can empathize with them thinking that it's right. And because they suffered through a lot of hell, and not only that, they grew up with dysfunctional families. So when you have disabilities and practically nobody helping you out, like, you don't think that causes issues, psychological and emotional, and especially if you suffer through autism, high functioning, low functioning, or any other stuff, you take things a lot more personal, and it's distorted for you. So of course, I mean, like, I understand that it's awful, and you might think these people are weird, but I swear to God, so many of these people are so great, and again, I'm not justifying, but I'm more so explaining why. It's because of people like stupid normies. And I have a huge, I kind of believe that it's meant to be like that for many people, because you even see people, I don't know if it's still going on, but don't you remember how this trans ableist thing going on? People who used to be fully functional now, identifying as dysfunctional or having a limb or being, it's like, let me tell you this. People like me in school, on television, whatever, they don't have a voice. We can't have a voice. And I'm not playing the victim card, but that's what a victim is. A victim has no power. A victim has no say in anything. And the thing is that problems with me and my friends, the thing is that we don't know how to respond, especially if you have autism. You don't know how to respond, ergo you're prone to abuse everywhere. And you take that abuse and you absorb that abuse and it seems like you never have a freaking break. Is that seriously what you really want to go through? And especially this stupid victim mentality. There are legit victims of discrimination. Especially if you're, and I wouldn't say disabled community, because I mean, like, that's not a community, that's not exactly a community. And but I don't know, I may or may not. I kind of take that back. If there is a disabled community, which I guess there sort of is because there are disabled programs, I mean, God, it just, I understand that, but the thing is that we don't have a voice. It's hard for us to defend ourselves. No one, barely anyone sticks up for us. We're very much outliers. People like me are outliers, especially when you have a disability that's not obvious. We're considered as possessed, or I don't know if this is still going around, but you're like, oh, it's the devil's work. You're like, they're possessed, or oh, you're weird. Oh God, no. It's like, can you stop doing that for once and try to understand these people? We all want to be understood, okay? People like me want to be understood, but the thing is, and we try to support each other. However, you can't support each other, you can't support someone else while simultaneously being on survival mode 24/7 ever since basically ever since you were born. And the thing, and it's awful. It's an awful, awful thing to go through. And why and let me ask you this: why, if we're being treated like this, especially public schools? I showed you a couple videos. Why are people saying, "Oh, public school is a good thing," and all this stuff, and actually encouraging schools? Well, it's to learn this, that, and the other. Okay, great. But if you're a disabled person, especially mental and physical disabilities, mental because of seizures and epilepsy and stuff like that, and memory issues, and my medication wasn't doing it much. Do you honestly think that we want to be part of something that is where is the sense, and where is the awareness that there are all these programs? Yes, but are they honestly helping the people like me, people like my friends, my ex-friends? Are they truly helping us, or are they just using these like as activist things, and then they might do one or two things, but then for the most part they say, we don't know how to deal with yours. It's an outlier, so we can't help you. I kind of believe, and you can leave in the comment section if you want. I kind of believe that the system is kind of there to be, for people like me to be like this. It's really hard to be understood. It's really easy for you to lose things than it is to gain things. It's very hard for many people, including me, to even get into these government programs. Oh, you seem normal. Oh, you have like bipolar. Yeah, we don't cover that. Oh, you have epilepsy, but you seem fine. You're like, what the hell's, what's wrong with you? You're like, you seem fine. Oh, so I have to be obviously having a droopy face? Or it has to be blatant in order for it? No, there are invisible disabilities. Are there some people who rig that? Absolutely. But do you know what? Just because, yeah, you need to cut people like us some slack. And I say us because there are more people who go through what I do than me. Okay? Be less judgmental, but I know that everybody is like putting labels on everything and everyone, and stop making it taboo. And don't even make it as like a way to like oh, people who support these people are disabled, or these people are like who at. And when I say these people, I mean certain politicians. Oh, they're like this. Oh, they're like that. What hasty generalization fallacies are you making up? This is true discrimination. This is true being ostracization. Sorry, that's a complex word, but being ostracized. I mean, do you understand how hard it is to maintain to even gain friends and not be judged, or even have because like if people like me, like, or even if someone who has disabilities, someone if there was another person with disabilities and a normie says, hey, this is not, you're out there with this, oh, you don't know, he might, he has all these things I saw on the news, and read in this, that people like him often are these crazy shooters who do attention. It's like, what? Oh, they're gonna grow up to be drug addicts. Oh, they're gonna grow up to be evil. Seriously? People like me often feel helpless and we suffer through a lot of depression because of that stupid kind of thinking. Because people don't want to deal with it. They don't want to go the extra mile, and sometimes the way they speak to us in baby talk. It's like, just talk to me like a human being. Talk to me like I'm everyone else. Treat me like I'm everyone else. And here you wonder why some people with disabilities kind of like become violent and all this other stuff, or like they get violent with each other and justify it. It's because of stuff like this. We want our break. It's like when is this going to end? When will we stop being overlooked, constantly abused and overlooked? And but promoted to be like, oh, it's empowering to be disabled. Since when? especially if you suffered through invisible disabilities. Since when is it empowering? We have to empower ourselves. People like me have to go above and beyond the average person. We're lucky to get into schools. We're lucky to get into high pristine schools or even colleges. Why? Because, oh, well, you need all these accommodations and we can't help you with that. Oh, well, you have all these other things and, well, we can't help you with that. Now, again, I mean, it's just aggravating. And it is disheartening, and it's like, it's gross. How people like me are treated. And we're the butt of so many jokes. We are we're just overlooked, dismissed. You're mean to tell me that that's not going to cause any more psychological issues for people? And it's not, not everybody is born with a disability, okay? But you don't think that if someone sees differently, acts differently, and they're ostracized, that that's going to cause, like, oh, I don't know, this new thing called depression? And they're going to start developing certain reasons to and justifications to act a certain way that is not, I wouldn't ever consider it as acceptable. And it's like, I'm not excusing it, but we also have to get a little bit of like the root cause of some of these things. And this stuff should not be ignored. It's like, why are these people depressed? Why are these people? Oh, well, it's because they're mentally ill. That is such an umbrella term. Like what? And if they do have all this, what the heck are you doing to help them out? Oh, they're weird. You're like, oh, stay away from those. Yeah, you don't think that that's what makes people with invisibilities like bat crap insane? We want to be valued. We want to be seen as everyone else. But by professors, by peers, by your average societal citizen, we're not. It's like, what do we have to do? When can we have our freaking break? And be treated by like a normal person? We act up. We have quirks. You're gonna have to tolerate that from us. Not always, of course, but not a lot of people have the patience. Not a lot of people have that same pain threshold. But the thing is that, especially when you have autism, you cling on to that trauma and obsess over the trauma more than the average person. And so even though we don't, and we tend to be, like I said earlier, prone to legit victimization, prone to legit bullying, and that sticks with us because because we have no break, there's no defense. It's just, oh, just don't associate with these people. And they get like a freaking, they get a pass, but we keep getting people like me in schools and in outside and keep getting harassed, primarily in schools. That's why I said, you know, earlier, it might defund public schools. It's not healthy for for uh, for mentally challenged and mentally people with learning disabilities or any sort of disabilities. People, it's like you're gonna have to do some extra work here. Yeah, you're gonna have to have extra patience, whether you're a peer, whether you're or a mentor. And the thing is that it's awful. It's an awful experience. I will admit, everybody, because of this, because of what I've been through, because of, and also because of like my health and all that stuff, there, I told my ex-friend this. I told her, you know what? I have every reason in the world to commit suicide. There's like not one day when I feel like I want to end it. Not because of just like being accepted to in society, but because I feel helpless. And also dealing with so many health issues that I didn't even choose or bring upon myself, that I was born with. None of this is my fault, but I'm being blamed for something that I didn't have a choice, and I'm being ridiculed, ostracized, and abused. I'm more prone to abuse than the average person. People like me are as well. You suffer through people who suffer through disabilities on average are more prone for abuse. Why? And I said this earlier in this video. We don't know how to defend ourselves. And in some cases we can't. Why would you ever want to be treated that way? No one listens to you. You cry and you shout the loudest because you're crying for help, and barely anyone helps you, or they just do something about it for momentarily and then they just wipe it under the rug as if it doesn't happen. We gotta keep doing something about this, and you know what? I need to do more. I need to do more videos about this. Yes, I use this as a singing channel, but that's every now and then. And I'm going to try to do it a little more often. I'm going to try to do a little bit more videos like this. But it's because, yeah, it's hell on earth for people like me. And people like me do have legitimate reasons to have that victim mentality. Fortunately for me, I use that as ammunition to encourage me to do better. And we have to go above and beyond. And some people, especially if we don't have the financial income, or we don't have the financial support for us to take that next big step in our lives. I mean, it's hard, especially if you have disabilities and you grow up in a dysfunctional family. That is chaos. So, let me ask you this, audience. Does that sound like somebody or something that you want to identify as? Does that does that seem like something or someone or a life that you want to live? And and we do have to try extra hard, but do you know what? We do need more voices. Hopefully, I can. I if I end up being one of them, great. If I'm not, I don't care. No one. I don't expect people to listen or pay attention to me. And but that's what I use my. That's what empowers my music. Is abuse. If people knew how to use their abuse and recycle it to do something that's very powerful, or use that as encouragement to do better, to go above and beyond, especially when you have little to no expectations on you. Like, seriously, for disabled people and people who have to go through like disabled programs, what expectations are there for them? They're more so expected and encouraged to fail. You want to know something? Before I go, I want to give you this small thing. I went to 2 community colleges. The first one, I swear, when I was younger, I was considering dropping out, and actually people, including my counselor, encouraged me to drop out because I had a 1.3, 1.6, something like that. It was really low. It was like C's and D's and F's. But I had to finish some. But I had to finish correct some grades by the looks of it. And I used that to my advantage. And guess what happened? I studied hard. I did the right things. I had the right professors. I did them some from online. I did them from online, and I made up for them. I've had to fight really, 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 really hard. And guess what happened? I graduated with. I went from a 1.6 to a 3.2. You're mean to tell me that someone who was legitimately victimized and the bar, here's the ground, and the bar was basically like this high. They were seen as like this high for them, near ground. It's like, oh, you're like, what the heck is what's the point? Just drop out and do your thing. You're not. It's no. I went that. I graduated. And then I went to a second one, and guess what? I graduated with highest honors. This stupid... I hate how a lot of this mainstream media stuff is basically programming people to have a life, to live a life of someone who is disabled. Or someone who's disabled to live a life of someone who lives in like dysfunctional families or like lives in poverty. And you wonder why it's awful. But just because someone who has a disability and is not very up there does not mean that they're evil. Nor does it mean that they're stupid. I'm sick and tired of that. Sorry, I had to vent and rant about this, but this is legit stuff here. People need help. These people, like me, need, and people who didn't have like father or mother figures, basically need that. Especially if you have, if you're, again, if you suffer through disabilities and you grow up with a dysfunctional family, that is hell on earth. And that's basically a recipe for failure. Because nobody knows how to help you. And you're the one who needs extra help. And yet, people like me, and actually people who suffer through worse disabilities, like I showed you in the previous videos, it's gross. It's disgusting. This needs to be fixed. Okay? I'm sorry if if I was looping and going on tangents, but that and repeating myself. But do you know what? As long as there keeps to being discrimination and people disabled people being ostracized, and it's like, that's just like how it is for them. They're hopeless. As long as that's the narrative, I'm gonna be finding ways and reasons to do videos on this, because you shouldn't dehumanize people with disabilities, and especially invisible disabilities. Whether if it's autism, bipolar, whatever it is. Their lives are just as important as yours. They're just as important as everybody else's. Now, and I absolutely hate how it's being, mental illness is now being framed with violence. And you know what I'm trying to say. I said that in my earlier, one of my earlier videos. It just makes things even worse and harder for people like me to succeed. And again, I'm not playing the victim here. I'm just trying to explain it. And I'm not playing victim because I have succeeded. Is it extra work? Yeah. But it's not impossible. And none of us are bad people. We're not bad people, okay? Sorry if this video, if you think this video didn't go anywhere, but we need it feels like the system is meant for this, meant to keep us like this. Comment below, like, share, and subscribe. If I'll do some more music stuff. Normally I put music stuff on my band's channel, but if there's anything musical that you want me to do or want me to show you, but I would be gladly to help you out. But just comment below, tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.